He has been here for a very long time and knows the ins and outs of this county rivalry. We talked to him prior to the game. We'll get to those comments in just a little bit. David Thompson in his second season with the Tolsia Rebels. Overall, last year they finished up at 1-8, but they did win their last game of the season, beating Phelps over in Kentucky in the final week of the season, 42-0. So some good things there. But in talking with Coach Thompson, they are having some problems already, having lost two young players to a motorcycle accident this summer, and then lost a lineman and their starting quarterback in practice and scrimmages. So things a little thin for the Tolsia Rebels to start the season, but Coach Thompson's confident his team will be ready to play and anxious to get this county rival started. We are, we're probably about 20 minutes or so away. The game clock is now down to 0. However, the teams did not get out until quite a bit later than normal. So not real sure how far we have, but we'll have time to get it back to the studio right now where Fred Dameron is standing by. And actually, Fred is probably sitting. But we're going to take a break and come back, and we're going to talk with Coach Thompson. Coach Harmon set the stage for you as the Tolsia Rebels visit the Wayne Pioneers, and you're hearing it all right here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This football broadcast is brought to you in part by our fine community partner, Rustic Ravines. Joe and the gang will be hosting their world-famous all-you-can-eat dinner buffet Saturday, September 3rd from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085. Rustic Ravines, a proud community partner of Pioneer Football.
The real non-steel. From the 60s.
3, 2, 1, 0. Godspeed, John Glenn.
Oh, that view is tremendous.
We choose to go to the moon. To be self-evident that all men are created equal. Ask what you can do for your country.
Only Congress has the power to declare war.
Something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
The answer is
30 million persons found themselves without light, subways, elevators, air conditioning. Where were you when the lights went out?
oh yeah. Tell you something. Oh, the times they are changing.
But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. To the war in Vietnam. I am ready to lead our country.
Now it's the same old song. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? Live from the 60s.
And yours truly.
Real non-steel.
Yeah. Live from the 60s, Monday at 7 on WFGH.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 WFGH.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Sports Network. We're talking to Coach David Thompson. Coach, second year, I know growing pains in the first year, always tough. You were down in numbers, but ended on a good note with a win over at Phelps. So how's your team progressing since that win?
I'm really pleased with the progression we had. Our middle school team that moved up, won the county championship, and brought a real winning attitude towards our other guys, and it kind of bled over to them, and it's going good right now.
I know numbers are up. Look like that you got quite a few more kids than you had out last year.
Yeah, numbers is up. The biggest problem we've had so far this year has been injuries. We done really, we was having high hopes, and then at the beginning of the season we lost two of our players to motorcycle accident, and then we lost one of our linemen the first day of contact, broke his arm, and then we lost a quarterback last week to a collarbone. So it put a damper on things, but the kids' spirits is real up, and I tell them all the time, it's the next man up. And if I'm not here, somebody else step up and do my job, just like if they're not here, somebody's going to step up and do their job. So that's why we play the game.
Exactly. But with a young team, it's tough. I know it is, especially when your expectations of having that number one out there. Now you got to go to probably a younger number two. Can be a little rattling.
Yeah, we had to go to a freshman, and just understanding the speed of the game from a middle school team to a high school team is tough. So we're hoping that we can play with them there and see what happens. But it's always tough coming in Wayne to play, and Wayne's got a good team this year. I mean, really good team. They looked really good on film, and it's always a county rival. And sometimes you just throw the records out the window and just line them up and let them go play.
You never know in a rival game. Like you say, records usually mean nothing. Talk about Wayne. They are normally what Coach Harmon calls the Wayne T, which means you got to play some assignment football on defense.
Yeah, they're a little different than what they've had been. They got more of a pistol look to them this year, and not a lot of arch motions and stuff that they did in the past. But it really boils down to it's really the same thing, but just a different look. And we've played each other so long that they know what we're going to do, and I know what they're going to do. And even when I wasn't the head coach, I coached years ago against them as an assistant. And Tommy's straight up guy, and we look forward to playing him.
I know a lot of coaches say it's not always about the X's and O's, but the Jimmies and Joes, and he's got a little bit more experience out there.
Oh yeah, they're very experienced team. This should be their year. I mean, if they're going to make a run, this is the time they're going to make it, and we're just hoping that we can make it worthwhile and hang in there and see what happens.
Right. What you got to do to pull off a Rebel win tonight, Coach?
We just got to play hard. The kids got to play assignment football. They got to stay in their zone and really play hard, and we just got to play disciplined football, and we can't have no injuries.
Right. Coach, appreciate you talking to me. Good luck tonight.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Always a pleasure.
Coach David Thompson of the Tulsa Rebels. We'll be back in a couple of moments. You're listening to the Gridiron Sports Network.
This sports presentation is brought to you by our valued community partner,
Welcome back to the
Ravines.
Welcome back
Here's
to the Gridiron.
what the Evans family had to say about their experience.
We had the best time. Everyone was friendly, professional, and made us feel welcomed. We rented a side-by-side for a 5-hour ride with our guide through the beautiful mountains of West Virginia. We highly recommend, and we'll be back.
Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085.
I am an American soldier.
I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined.
I am disciplined.
Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. Military families endure frequent deployments and separations. They carry on while their loved ones are sent into harm's way and wait patiently for their safe return. If you really want to honor a veteran, look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices.
Listening to high school football action on 90.7 WFGH.
Welcome back into the Gridiron Sports Network, brought to you by Rustic Ravines, and talking with Coach Tom Harmon. Well, Coach, you've been at this a long time. The first game's always an adventure, usually, especially last year against Tolsia.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know. I was trying to think. Probably played them. So I've been here probably 28 times, something like that. And most of them have been joyous occasions, but not all of them, and you tend to remember the ones that weren't. But lots of stories over the years, and don't care so much about the stories, but we sure enjoy the rivalry.
It is a county rival, and I know in a lot of rivalries, you throw records and all that stuff out the window because there's something to play for.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've had really good records, and they've had very poor records, and go right down on the wire, vice versa. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a game that they take very seriously, and it's one sometimes we're having a good year. It's hard to get our kids to take it seriously, but it's something that public likes. We like to play it.
Is having it early in the season like it has been the last few years better for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think in some ways getting that side stuff out of the way early, allows you to be able to focus on your football team and get better and get into those conference games and not have to take a break in the middle of it to play your rival and everything. So, yeah.
Let's talk about your team. I was looking down through there, and this is a pretty experienced ball club. You have a lot of familiar names from last year. So, are you pleased with your experience and especially your depth?
Well, it eliminated an excuse for losing. Young. We're not young. We've got a veteran team, so you expect your veteran kids to do. To play smart, not maybe hurt themselves as much as years past. And the big thing is our guys knowing that it's their last time. Mm-hmm. And some of them have suffered through some lumps, and a lot of them have played even when they were very young. And hopefully get a little bit of payoff.
Looking at your offense, that was a couple of practices. Looks like you might have a few wrinkles this year that probably the same scheme, same basic concepts, but maybe a little different out of some of your formations.
We try to be flexible according to what kind of kids we have. And I know one sure way to get beat really bad is to be careless with the football when you're not real talented. So, sometimes your talent level dictates what you can and can't do. So, we've got a much more talented team than what we have had. So, with that being said, we can do some more things. So, some of that's formations, but not a whole big change. I mean, what we do is tried and true. So, we're not going to stray too far.
I know last year, 1,000-yard rusher in Jackson Dameron. Looks like he's even a little beefier than he was last year, maybe a little meaner. I'm sure you'll have to ride him a few times this year. Yeah,
that's probably, if you want to talk about a change in us, we have a few more places to go with the ball than just Jackson. So that'll make his stats may not be as good, but probably overall it's going to be much better for our football team. And, probably playing him down on the defensive line and getting a little bit more speed on the field, that should help us as well.
I saw defensively on the two deep you sent me, I didn't see a nose. Have you changed your defense up a little bit?
Yeah, we still have a nose in there, so I don't know if you looked at it wrong or what. We playing more with 3 down linemen this year as opposed to 4, and partly that's due to your schedule and the type of teams you play and the way the games change. So we'll have to be more creative to put a little heat on the quarterback, but we got those things that we can do too.
I may have looked at it wrong. I didn't see a nose. Maybe I
might have forgot it.
Talk about your quarterback. I know last year Grady was your starter. Grady got hurt. You went with Dingo, and looking now, looks like Fisher Fry is going to get the nod to start with anyway. What does he bring to the table?
Well, probably more than anything, improvisation. I mean, he's able to. When you don't have the perfect play call, sometimes I got to tuck it down and make something happen, and that's a huge part of football now. So he gives us a little bit of that and the ability to run a few different kinds of plays and things of that nature. Where Grady was more of a steady Eddie, right. He's able to do a few more dynamic things, and he's a threat to score when he gets in the open field.
Talk to us about Tolsia, what you know about him. I know first game of the year, but I'm sure you've done some scout, watched maybe a scrimmage tape or two. What do you know about them?
They look, you can tell that they've got a lot of young players. And with those young players, hopefully they're going to have to make mistakes before they learn. So we're hoping they go ahead and do that tonight. But, as usual, they look like a physical football team and a team that's going to be ready to go. So, they're still trying to get their new schemes in and things of that nature. So, definitely don't expect anything soft when we play them.
Weather again. We expected 95 at kickoff. It's going to be 75, but rain. Does that affect your football team?
Yeah, I think it's really not very good for us, but at least we're not talking about mud. At least it's just going to be a wet situation, and I don't know if we got enough towels, but we'll see.
A couple things you got to do to bring home the victory tonight, Coach.
Hey, off.
Had lightning there, so players have to come off.
As usual, can't win when you turn the football over, and try to establish our physicality early, and ball security and being physical, and not making the kind of mistakes that we can control. So.
Well, as the old football coach once said, you can't win them all if you don't win the first one, so good luck to you tonight.
That's right.
Coach Tom Harmon of the Wayne Pioneers. Back in a couple of moments, you're listening to Pioneer Football on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This presentation of Pioneer Football is sponsored by Rustic Ravines. Rustic Ravines offers deluxe cabin rentals and special event planning, as well as some of the best ATV riding and hiking trails in the country. You'll also find kayaking and canoeing, a 3D bow range, fishing, hunting, golfing, and a pet and horse-friendly resort. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook or 304-385-1085. Get ready for all the exciting, hard-hitting sounds of the gridiron. High school football is on the air. Now, let's head to the stadium for all the play-by-play action on Sports Radio 90.7 WFGH.
Resident Marching Band presents our national anthem.
National anthem there. A fine job by the Wayne Marching Band. And we are just about ready to get this one underway. Kickoff coming your way here in just a moment. The Tolsia Rebels will kick off. They'll be going from right to left. Excuse me, right to left on your radio dial. Of course, most of you are probably watching on a smartphone or computer.
Game.
But nonetheless, that's how we always used to do it. They did honor
Darby's family. Passed away 2 years ago.
A couple of folks here.
Linda.
Prior to the game, former Wayne High School football coach Jim Dameron passed away this summer, and also Ron Roberts was a former coach, and so they honored them here tonight as well. We do want to let you know that you can get your gold and silver delivered to your door, folks. There's a way to buy gold and silver just like the rich guys. Real silver, real gold, you can hold in your hand. 7K Metals membership is your exclusive membership. Benefits include accumulate silver and gold at market price fractionally, access to a sound money wallet where you can buy silver and gold incrementally, access to affordable group health care, 7K Advantage discounts, and savings with over 800,000 ways to save at local restaurants on big brand names and on travel and accommodations. Several other useful exclusive member benefits as well. Simply select one of the calendar buttons and choose a date for your appointment, and one of our associates will reach out to you. Your membership proudly supports the Superstation Network and Hazel's Wish. Visit superstationsilver.com to learn more. Well, we're getting ready to kick it off.
Back it up again. Let me begin. I can't know when battle me. That's a sin. I won't ever suck up.
And Tolsia will kick it off. And it's going to be taken at the 45-yard line of Wayne, and they'll get it at the 40-yard line, and they'll get it back to about the 45.
75, Canada Million on the return. Pioneers begin possession at their own 45-yard line.
So great field position here for the Pioneers, as they'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. As they break huddle, Fisher Fry will be in the pistol formation. Single wide out to the far side. Double wings with Jackson Dameron in the backfield. They'll give it off to Dameron. He tries the left side and gets nothing. Actually will lose a yard.
Jackson Dameron, the ball carrier.
So Dameron
loss of 2.
He loses 2 on that one.
Yards to go.
It'll be 2nd and 12. Clock rolling. Played 30 seconds here in this delay. We did get started not too bad, about a 20-minute delay. As the Pioneers break huddle against the 4-3 defense of the Rebels. Now twins to the far side. Dameron in behind Fry, who's back to pass from the pistol. Looking deep. Has a man deep, and that's going to be out of bounds. Wayne wanting...
pass incomplete.
It's intended for Ronnie Staley.
Intended for number 1, Ronnie Staley. 3rd down. And 12 yards to go.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Third and 12, ball spotted once again at the 43-yard line of Wayne. As they break huddle, they'll send twins to the far side. Wing back to the far side. Dameron in behind Fry, who rolls out to his left, lets one fly across the middle and intended for Colton Mathis, and that's incomplete.
Fisher Fry's pass is incomplete.
So let's bring up 4th down.
Murdoch, 4th down.
And let's see what Coach Harmon decides to do here on 4th and 12. I'm sure he'll punt the football away, or one would think. And they are in punt formation. Fisher Fry, also the punter. And we have a flag.
Penalty markers before the snap.
It's going to be a false start.
False start to call against the Pioneers. 5-yard penalty, 4th and 17.
It's going to bring up 4th and 17. Kick is high but short, and will only go down to about the 34-yard line. So Tolsia.
A 28-yard punt.
It's the 28-yard punt.
Rebels will begin possession at their own 34-yard line.
First and 10. At the 38. Tolsia comes out in the I formation, and we have a whistle early.
Timeout. Tulsa.
Tulsa is taking a timeout. First timeout of the half. So this one getting started a little bit late. We're 10 minutes and 49 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Wayne with a 3-and-out on their first possession. Timeout taken by the Rebels. As Coach Thompson saw something he didn't like in that formation. Up under center. Quarterback Robert Evans tries to hand off inside. Gain of maybe a yard or so. On the carry that time was Drew Prince, who's number 69.
Drew Prince, the ball carrier.
He's a big old boy. We don't have heights and weights on the roster from Tolsia. As Prince gets a carry once again, gets out to about the 35, 36-yard line. So
8 yards to go.
No gain to bring up 3rd and 8. Up under center, Robert Evans. I formation in behind him. And we've got a flag. It's going to be a false start before they even get to the line of scrimmage. So that 5-yard penalty will move them back 5 and bring up 3rd and 13.
That ball false start, the call against the Rebels. It's a 5-yard penalty. It will be 3rd and 13.
Back to throw, and now tucking it up and running will be the quarterback, Evans,
the ball carrier.
And he is brought down after a gain of about 7. Making the stop was Dante Worrell.
Gain of 5, it will be 4th down.
Bring up 4th down and 8. And in punt formation will be Grayson Golden, freshman. Golden standing on his own 25-yard line. And that one's almost blocked. Golden's going to be roughed. Penalty comes in. He got hit after he kicked the football.
Penalty marker on the play.
If it's going to be roughing or running into. 3rd penalty of the game. They're going to give it a personal foul roughing. That's going to be 15 yards and a 1st down.
The call against the Pioneers. It's a 15-yard penalty and a 1st down for the Rebels.
Well, the Wayne faithful not happy with that one, but he definitely hit him. I don't know if he ran into or roughed. The referee decided it was a roughing penalty. He definitely ran into him. But that's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Rebels, and they'll spot the ball out to about the 40. Well, they've not started yet. Now they'll go. The 49-yard line of Wayne. So Tolsia in Wayne territory after the 15-yarder. Evans will come up under center. I formation behind him. Single wide out. Either way, he fumbles a snap and falls on it.
Evans falls on the fumbled snap.
Fell right back on his own snap, so fortunate there. And he was able to fall back on it. A loss of a couple on the play. He's going to bring up second down and 12. 8:37 remaining here in the opening period. No score. Wayne hosting the Rebels of Tolsia. Single wide out either way. Wing back to the far side. I formation. Boy, we've got a couple of big old boys in the backfield. I'll give them that. And here comes another flag.
Penalty marker before the snap.
And it's going to be a false start against Tolsia.
Dead ball false start to call against the Rebels.
I'll tell you what.
Second and 17.
I think that's 5 penalties already. And we have played less than 4 minutes of football. You expect some sloppy play in the early going, but this is ridiculous. And here's a pitch back, a nice run. That time by Drew Prince.
88.
Excuse me. That was Bray Mollett on the carry. Gets three or four on the play. They're going to spot it at the Rebel 47-yard line. Where it will be third and about 14. Twins to the far side. They're going to bring twins to the near side. Evans will be out of the shotgun. Flanking his right will be Mollett. They fake the handoff to Mollett. A big rush is on, and there's a sack.
Evans sacked on the play.
Looks like that was Jackson Dameron got in there.
5:48 Jackson Dameron.
And Dameron comes up with a huge play on the defensive side of the football for the Wayne Pioneers. Loss all the way back to the 41-yard line, so a loss of 6 is going to bring up fourth down and about a $20 cab ride for the Tolsia Rebels. Now, they were in this situation before, and Wayne bailed them out with a roughing the kicker. That punt gets away. High punt taken by, that's Ronnie Staley. And then here comes a flag in late.
27-yard punt, Ronnie Staley on the return for the Pioneers.
A flag comes in at the very tail end of that play as they'll spot him down right at midfield, but we'll check the flag. Another penalty. They're actually going to put him into Tolsia territory to 49. It's going to be a personal foul against the Rebels. So that will tack 15 on at the end of the run.
A personal foul has been called against Tulsa.
And that'll take it all the way down to the 34-yard line, or should. We'll see if these guys can measure. And that's where they go, to the 34-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Wayne Pioneers. No score, 6.5 left to play here in the opening period. Wayne had a 3-and-out. Tolsia faced a 3-and-out, but a Wayne penalty allowed that drive to continue, and now they punt. A good return by Staley, and the penalty puts the Pioneers well into Rebel territory, and every Rebel jumped off sides there. Were they drawn off? We'll see. Is it encroachment or a false start? It's going to be encroachment. Offsides against the Rebels.
Offside to call against the Rebels.
So yet another penalty here tonight. I think me and Doug Epling's going to open up a dry cleaning store here close to get these flags washed up at halftime. They have gone from a banana yellow to almost a non-ripened banana yellow. Here's a handoff to Dameron, right up the gut. He's still on his feet, rumbling, bumbling all the way down to the 15-yard line. And a little extracurricular going on at the end of that play. Whistles blown. They're actually going to put him down at about the 16-yard line. First and 10 for the Pioneers.
First down, Pioneers.
From the shotgun formation is Fisher Fry. Fakes a handoff to Dameron, hands it off instead of the wing back, and it's loose. Looks like Wayne may have fallen back on it. Mathis was the ball carrier and just could not handle the exchange.
Recovers his own fumble.
But was able to apparently fall forward for about 2 yards.
2, it will be 2nd and 8.
So a busted play there goes in favor of the Pioneers as Mathis could not quite hang on to that football. It was botched from the exchange. Twins to the near side. Single back is Dameron. They go in motion. They give it to the motion back, and that's going to be Murdoch. He hurdles one man. Did he get in? No.
Number 7, Ryland Murdoch. The ball
Murdoch stepped out. Well, he stepped out back at about the 5-yard line. I thought he tried to hurdle in, but apparently it stepped out of bounds back at the 5.
First and goal.
But it's going to be first and goal for the Pioneers at the Rebel 5-yard line with 5:22 left to play here in the opening period. Fisher Fry comes from the sideline from Coach Harmon straight to the huddle. As they break huddle, Fry will come up under center. 2 wings, a tight end, Dameron in behind him. They fake it to Dameron. They give it off this time to Colton Mathis. And put 6 on the board for the Pioneers. Colton Mathis from 5 yards out caps off a nice drive that was aided tremendously by penalties, but nonetheless, the Pioneers take an early 6-0 lead with 5:17 remaining here in the opening period. Cade Estep out of the hold of Grady Spradlin. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it's a wounded duck, not even close. So with 5:17 left to play here in the first period, your score, Wayne 6, Tolsia nothing.
Tulsa 0.
Back in a moment here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This presentation of Pioneer Football is sponsored by Rustic Ravines. Rustic Ravines offers deluxe cabin rentals and special event planning, as well as some of the best ATV riding and hiking trails in the country. You'll also find kayaking and canoeing, a 3D bow range, fishing, hunting, golfing, and a pet and horse-friendly resort. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 FM WFGH.
6-0 your score. The Wayne Pioneers take the early lead. 5:17 left to play here in the opening period. Cade Estep will set to put the boot to it for the Pioneers. A line drive goes to the far side of the field. Picked up over there by Parker Watts. Watts goes up the sideline, still on his feet. Nice return, but the ball comes loose. Was he down to start with? He was. Out to about the 34-yard line. Somewhere along in there. We'll see where the spot is. It appears to be the 34 from here. But it's on the far side of the field. We'll see where they mark it. Veteran officiating crew here tonight. And they are getting a workout here in the early going, that's for sure.
Rebels begin possession at their own 34-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Rebels. Now working out of the shotgun, it appears, is Evans. Twins either way. And play action, and he's going to try a little quarterback draw off the right side. Gets about a yard, not much more.
The ball carrier.
Evans with the quarterback keeper, and about a yard. Bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Rebels. Still learning how to pronounce this name. I hear Tulsa, like Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then I hear Tolsia, how it's spelled. I'm not real sure. But being a Kentucky boy. But I think it's Tulsa. Nonetheless, the Rebels have 8 seconds on the play clock, and they have changed plays. They better hustle up. Evans from the shotgun. Play clock's at 2. They did not get that off. It's going to be another 5-yard penalty, a delay of game. So back them up 5. We'll bring up second down and 14.
5-yard penalty. It will be second and 14.
Remind you can listen in tonight on Facebook on the Superstation Network. We are absolutely streaming that one live. Go to superstationnetwork.com. You can pick us up there. All kinds of ways you can hear tonight if you have friends and family wanting to listen in. Here's a scramble by Evans. Throws it downfield, in and out of the hands. Intended for Jesse Gerald.
Evans' pass is incomplete.
And that one falls harmlessly. No, excuse me. That was not Gerald. That was Ratliff.
Intended for Ratliff.
I saw the 3. I didn't see the 1.
14.
These orange numerals, light orange numerals on white jerseys is hard for this old man to see. But we'll do our best. It's going to bring up third down and 14. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line of the Rebels. Shotgun formation. Oh, they moved early. They sure did. The split end on the near side, Parker Watts took off about a second before the ball was snapped. So that's going to be a false start. And back up the Rebels 5 more yards. Now, I hope my buddy Ryan Epling is keeping stats because I want to know the penalties, just the number.
Against the Rebels, 5-yard penalty.
We got to be getting close to double digits. 4:03 remains here in the first period, 6-0. The Pioneers lead the Rebels of Tolsia. Tolsia's still not set. Play clock's down to 10. They've got twins to the near side, twins to the far side. Play clock's at 5, and they're looking down at their wristbands. Now they get the snap off just in time. Big rush. Evans flushed out to his right. He's going to throw it. It's going to be caught on the near side by Ratliff, but that'll be no gain, maybe even a loss.
Stop for the Pioneers.
He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So it's going to be up fourth down,
17,
and about 18 to go. So give him about a yard on that one, maybe 2. So punt formation for Tolsia.
Ratliff in punt formation for the Rebels. Ronnie Staley, deep away.
And it's a fumbled snap on the punt and brought down behind the line of scrimmage is Ratliff, and bringing him down, I believe, was Cooper Adkins, I believe. I can't be positive of that, but nonetheless, the Wayne Pioneers will have excellent field position. First and goal? No, 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line of the Rebels. So golden opportunity here for the Pioneers. Shotgun formation, single wide out to the far side, back to throw is Fry. Looking to the end zone, has a man. Up, jump ball, incomplete. Intended for Ryland Murdoch.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
No, that was intended for Cade Estep, excuse me. On the far side of the corner of the end zone, and it was a jump ball. Nice job by the Rebel defender to go up and knock that one away, preventing a touchdown. That ball was just a bit underthrown. 3:11 left to play in the opening quarter. 6-0. Wayne with the lead. They have the football for 2nd and 10 at the Rebel 14-yard line. Fry. Inside handoff. No, he fakes it. He keeps it. He's going to the corner. He's at the 5, 4, 3. Put 6 on the board for the Pioneers. Fisher Fry from 14 yards out. And just like that, it's 12-0 in favor of the Pioneers with 3 minutes, 4 seconds remaining here in the first period. Now, will Wayne go for 2 here? I would think they might. Fisher Fry here on the sideline with Coach Tom Harmon. They are going to go for 2. They need the hustle. Play clock's down to 14. They're still in the huddle. Play clock's at 8. They come to the line. Fry with 2. Lets it go. He's going to throw to the end zone and add the deuce. Fisher Fry to Ronnie Staley. And the 2-point conversion is good with 3:04 remaining here in this first period. Your score, Wayne 14, Tulsa nothing. Back in a moment on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This sports presentation is brought to you by our valued community partner, Rustic Ravines. Here's what the Evans family had to say about their experience.
We had the best time. Everyone was friendly, professional, and made us feel welcomed. We rented a side-by-side for a 5-hour ride with our guide through the beautiful mountains of West Virginia. We highly recommend, and we'll be back.
Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 FM WFGH.
14-0 your score. The Pioneers will lead as Eastep has to put the boot to the ball. He does so to the near side this time. Taken there by Zach Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe running around, loses the football, and I think falls back on it. Boy, he looked like a rat in a maze right there and could not find a way out. Finally lost the football, fell back on it at about the 24-yard line.
Begin possession at their own 24.
1st and 10 for the Rebels. Remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at some of the scores from around the state for those that are playing. I know some games tonight were delayed and postponed until tomorrow. So we'll try to check all that. I know I heard from my buddy Joe Linville, and Scott is not playing tonight. For those of you that
Ray Mollett, the ball carrier,
normally like to listen to Joe and the gang at Scott on our Facebook page of the Superstation Network, they are delayed. Handoff that time went to Bray Mollett, and he got no gain, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Clock running with 2.5 to play here in the opening period. Twins to the near side, twins to the far side, single back as Evans is in shotgun. Sends a man in motion, and the motion back, I have no idea what they were doing there. The motion back just kind of, I don't think he knew what he was doing, to be honest with you. He ran 5 yards behind Evans, and Evans just looked at him, shook his head. Evans had to end up keeping the football. Got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, actually, he lost a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
11 yards to go.
3rd and 11. Well, a new young quarterback, first start, freshman. Got to be tough. I feel for the kid. They had a junior that was, Williamson was supposed to start, broke his collarbone last week. He takes a direct snap to Evans. He gets a nice gain out to about the 25-yard line, but will be well short of the first down.
Tanner McMillian on the stop.
As he will pick up about 7. But it's going to be 4th down and about 5, maybe 6.
Gain of 7, 4th down. 4 yards to go.
And in punt formation is Robert Evans. Evans, the quarterback, now also the punter. Good snap, high but short kick. Will bounce near midfield, take a Rebel bounce into Wayne territory, and stops at the Pioneer 44-yard line.
A 26-yard punt.
26-yard punt for Evans.
Pioneers begin possession of their own.
And the Pioneers will take over with 47 seconds left to play here in this first period. The Pioneers lead the Rebels 14-0. In a game that was delayed some 20 minutes or so. because of lightning in the area, but the lightning is gone, the rain is gone. It's actually turned out to be a very nice evening. We had expected game time temperatures, according to the weather forecast, to be in the mid-90s. Instead, it was high 70s, low 80s. So it's actually turned into a pleasant evening of football here at Wayne High School. Play action pass from Fry, looking downfield, nothing there. He's going to tuck it up and run. He's across midfield up to the 40, 35, still on his feet. He's at the 20. Oh, they said he stepped out of bounds.
Well, Fisher Fry, the ball carrier.
Fry was gone to the races, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds all the way back
Officials timeout for injury.
at about the 35-yard line. But we do have a Rebel down on the field. And he is face down on the Bermuda turf here at Wayne High School, which, by the way, looks beautiful. As they tend to the injured player, trying to get a number for you. He's up and on his, leaving the field under his own power. That was Bryant Horn, who was injured but seems to be fine. He's up, helmet off.
71, Bryant Horn.
And leaving the field well under his own power. Probably just a stinger.
Previous play went for a gain of 21. First down, Pioneers.
So Fry picks up 21 yards. He was gone to the races but stepped out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 35-yard line. First and 10 for the Pioneers, leading 14-0 with 35 seconds to go in this first period. Fry, play action pass from the shotgun, tries to throw it out into the flats. Throws it woefully low.
Second and 10.
That was intended for Grady Spradlin, who was last year's opening night quarterback. So the incomplete pass will arrest the clock with 31 seconds left to play in the first period. Fisher Fry, 6 foot, 172 pounds, just a junior. Coach Tom Harmon working from the pistol and not afraid to fling it this year. They give the ball to the wingback from motion. He's got some room. Coming to the near sideline, that is Ashton Walker.
Number 2, Caden Hayton, the ball carrier.
Excuse me. Caden Hayden? I have that as Ashton Walker, so my bad.
At the game of 26, first and goal, Pioneers.
Caden Hayden is number 4, so my bad on that one. I'll have to make a note on my roster. Fry, screen pass out to Murdoch. And is he in?
Fisher Fry's pass.
Put 6 on the board for the Pioneers.
Touchdown.
Nice job there as Fry hit Murdoch in stride. And that will put the Pioneers up as time expires here in the first period. 20-0. And, boy, there was a lot going on there. The kick was good, but they're going to say it was offsides against the Rebels. They can decline that penalty, I think. Or can they? If there was contact made prior to the snap, I don't think they can decline it, but if no contact was made, they can.
That ball offside, the call against Tolsia.
So it will be half the distance for the Pioneers. The kick was good. Normally you would decline that, but because it was dead ball, they can't decline it. So they'll kick it from the 1.5. Will KD step out of the hold of Grady Spradlin. The first attempt was terrible. That one was good, but Next one, the snap is back, hold is down, kick is up and good. So add the ace, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Your score, the Wayne Pioneers 21, the Tulsa Rebels nothing. Back in a moment here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
It's easy to guess what's inside a truck. Pallets of products, goods packed and piled high, but many never consider what's inside the trucker. The men and women who keep business moving, who help support communities, the parents and providers, brothers, sisters, and neighbors. Inside you is the commitment to deliver a job well done. For your sacrifice, your perseverance, and your drive, we thank you. Shell Rotella, the engine oil that works as hard as you.
You're listening to high school football action on Sports Radio 90.7 WFGH.
Well, we played 12 minutes of football here at Wayne High School. Opening game of the 2023 season. And the Pioneers lead the Tolsia Rebels 21-0 in a very penalty-laden first period. Unfortunately, I do not have the ability to have the stats with me here tonight. It's a one-man show here this evening. But I'll try to catch up with my buddy Ryan Epling and get some stats for you at some point this evening. But I know there've been a lot of, and I mean a lot, of penalties both ways here in the first half. KD Step set to kick it away for the Pioneers to start the second period. And it's going to go all the way down to the 3-yard line where it's picked up by Parker Watts. And Watts can't find any room. Finally tries to get to the outside, and he's dropped inside the 10. And here comes a flag in late.
Parker Watts on the return.
Flag came in very late on that one.
7, make it 8 on the return. There is a penalty marker on the play.
So he did get out past the 10 to about the 12. But then we had a penalty. Let's see what we got. Generally, that's going to be a personal foul against the kicking team. Generally. We'll see. That's going to be a holding against the receiving team. So that'll be a half the distance penalty.
Holding the call against the Rebels.
That'll take it down inside the 10 to... Well, it looked like they had given him the 12 or 13, so about the 6 or 7 yard line. If they'll ever mark it off and spot it.
They can't see it.
They're taking their time to spot the foul, that's for sure. Looks like they're going to place the ball at the 6 yard line.
Rebels begin possession at their own 6 yard line.
1st and 10 as the Rebels now moving left to right on your radio dial. Out of the white uniforms and those orange numbers, I formation. They pitch it to the tailback, and he runs into his fullback and probably going to lose a yard on that one. Mollett was the ball carrier, but ran in to Drew Prince.
Loss of 2, 2nd down.
Loses a yard or so. And about 2 yards, actually. Going to be 2nd down and 12. That play just never developed. And it was a very slow developing play. Not as slow as the last 50 cents on a prepaid gas pump. Single wide out to the far side, single wide out to the near side. Under center is Evans. I formation, and it's a quarterback, just a bull rush up the gut. And may have gotten a yard, too, maybe. I mean, that was just a direct snap like a quarterback sneak.
On the quarterback sneak, the ball carrier.
And give him a yard.
Gain of 1. 3rd down.
Bring up 3rd and 11.
11 yards to go.
Ball is on the 5 yard line of the Rebels. They'll send twins either way. Singles back to the right of the quarterback in shotgun, Robert Evans. Now he moves to Evans' left. Back to throw. Evans looking deep. Nothing going. He's going to tuck it up and try to run for it, and he may get the 1st down yardage. I believe he did. A lot of scrambling going on there, and Evans,
number 5, Robert Evans,
gets up without a helmet on. So he's going to have to leave He's going to have to leave for a play.
Timeout for injury.
We do have a timeout on the field because of an injury to one of the Rebel players all the way back at the line of scrimmage. But Evans's helmet came off, so by rule he'll have to set out the next play, or Coach David Thompson could elect to call a timeout. We will see. Right now we're tending to an injured player, and that definitely more important than a timeout. Can't see a number. But he is up. And I do believe that's Bryant Horn, who was injured previously in this ball game. It appears to be number 71.
Bryant Horn.
So Horn has been shaken up twice tonight.
For a gain of 15. It will be 1st and 10 Rebels.
But Evans was able to get enough for the first down out to the 20-yard line. But Evans's helmet came off. Now, does the injury timeout negate the fact that he has to come off the field? No, he's not out there. So I don't think. His helmet came off at the end of that play. Maybe the injury timeout will negate that. No, it's not Evans behind under center right now. So, reset the play clock. New quarterback. And we got flags everywhere. No, I mean flags coming in all over the place, and we'll check this one. False start against the Rebels.
Start the call against the Rebels. 5-yard penalty.
Well, that does not count as a play, so Evans still has to stay off. So they'll back him up. It appears to be Caleb Thompson is the quarterback right now, in for Evans, another freshman, which would be the third-string quarterback for the Rebels. Single wide out either way. Bunch formation in the backfield, and
69, Drew Prince.
They hand the ball off to Prince, and he'll get about 3, maybe 4. Put him at the 19-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11. So almost got back to the original line of scrimmage. Clock running with 9:39 left to play in this first half. 21-0, Wayne on top. Tolsia has twins either way. And hard count's going to draw. Nope, they're going to say that the center moved. It's going to be a false start. So move them back 5 more.
That ball false start, the call against the Rebels. 5-yard penalty.
I love the backup beep. I like to have one of those backup beeps when I back up. I'm so big. Let people know I'm moving. I love that sound, though, on the penalties. That's awesome. Whoever came up with that one, kudos. Evans back in now, quarterback. Hands it off to the right side to Mollett. And Mollett is stacked up.
Mollett, the ball carrier.
And driven back.
Bradwood, and on the initial stop for the Pioneers.
I mean, there was a whole host of Pioneers brought him down. Really never brought him down, just stopped his forward progress. He is a big boy in the backfield. As I said, the roster we got does not list height and weight, but that is a large kid back there, and he runs hard. Twins either way as the Rebels now face a 3rd and 18. And scrambling and trying to get away is Evans, and the ball fell out, but I think he was down.
Evans on the carry.
He'll get maybe 4.
No gain.
Nope, he didn't get any. It's my bad. They put him back down, and he falling forward and rolled, and the ball came loose and everything. They put him right back where he was. So it's going to be 4th down and about 18-yard line. 4th down 18
Evans in pump formation
from the 12-yard line.
Ronnie Staley deep for Wayne.
Staley standing around the Rebel 40-yard line. Not expecting a very deep punt here from Evans. Good snap. Gets off a wobbly kick that's going to come right to the 40-yard line. And here comes a flag. This one's probably going to come back. We're going to say right now touchdown, but this one's probably...
For a Pioneer touchdown, there is a penalty marker on the play.
This one's probably coming back for a block in the back or a hold. Flag all the way back. That's why I did not get too excited about, although it was a great run by Staley. Didn't get too excited because it looked like a hold or a block in the back. Yep, that's what it is. So this one's coming back. Illegal use of hand was the signal, preliminary signal, and so that'll be a spot foul. So do not put 6 on the board for the Pioneers. Instead, move them all the way back inside their own territory or close to it. And that's going to be right at the Rebel 49-yard line.
That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Wayne begins possession at the Tulsa 49.
So rather than a touchdown, Wayne will have the ball 1st and 10 on the Rebel 49-yard line with 7:34 remaining here in the first half. 21-0. Wayne on top. It's been all Wayne here tonight. They sputtered on their first possession on a 3-and-out, but since then they've moved the ball exceptional. But play has been interrupted several times by the little yellow hankies. We've got to have a dozen of those in this game already at least. Fry back to throw. Has a man open in the flats and underthrew him. Tried to get that one out to Cade Estep and underthrew Estep quite a bit. Not much Cade could do with that one. So the clock arrested at 7.5 minutes now left to play in the first half. 21-0. Wayne leads the Tolsia Rebels. This will be 2nd and 10 from the Rebel 49. As the Pioneers break huddle, they'll send a single wide out to the near side. Double wings with a single setback. Dameron in behind Fry from the pistol. Fry looking deep. Looking. Nothing there. Still looking. Tucks it up. He's going to run for it. And he's going to be thrown violently out of bounds by Mason Brewer. I mean, Brewer had some bad intentions on that one. Brewer looked like a WWE wrestler right there. I'm surprised they didn't throw another flag. It's going to be enough for a Pioneer first down. All the way down to the 37-yard line. First and 10. Fry from the shotgun. Back to throw again. Has Dameron in the flats, finds him. A little screen pass. Dameron makes one man miss, makes another man miss. He's down to the 20, cuts it back inside to the 15, down close to the 10-yard line. Jackson Dameron with a nice run after catch. I think they call that the yak, the yards after catch. And let's see where they spot him down.
22.
Pick up 22 yards. The ball's going to be spotted at about the 14-yard line. 14-yard line. 1st and 10. Fry has twins to the near side with a wing back to this side. He takes a snap and comes this side, rolling, looking wide open across the middle, and fumbled, but recovered. Did he get in? Put 6 on the board for the Pioneers. Ronnie Staley caught it, fumbled it into the end zone, then fell on it in the end zone. So that's a touchdown pass from Fry to Staley. And you can put 6 on the board for the Wayne Pioneers. 6:37 remaining here in the opening half. Wayne leads it 27-0. E-Step will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Grady Spradlin. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good.
The kick is good.
6:37 to go here in the first half, and here comes a flag in very late. Flag came in very, very late.
28. Tulsa, 0.
It was getting a little chippy out there. Some of the linemen jawing, and somebody's action drew a flag. So we will see whose action drew a flag. It's getting chippy out there. As you might expect on a 28-0 game. So the officials are gathering together. They may be writing down numbers. And we'll see what we got. This official is mic'd up, but I can't hear him. Personal foul against Wayne. Personal foul against Tolsia. So those penalties will offset.
Fouls against both teams.
And we'll just have a regular kickoff.
Attention, please. We have a truck that needs to be moved. It's a Silver, Colorado, license plate 726.
Remind you, superstationsilver.com. Go there and check them out. They're a fine sponsor of the Superstation Network and Hazel's Wish. You can have real silver, real gold that you can hold in your hand. With 7K Metals membership, you get some great benefits. Accumulate silver and gold at market price fractionally. Access to sound money wallets where you can buy silver and gold incrementally. Access to affordable group health care and some discounts of over 800,000 ways to save at local restaurants, big name brands on travel and accommodation. Visit superstationsilver.com to learn more. KD Step set to kick it away once again. His foot's going to get tired tonight. And that's a very short kick that's going to be loose. And there's a pile for it. Looks like Tolsia did fall on it. Falling on that football was Cole Jordan. And Jordan immediately went to the sideline. He fell on that football and has immediately gone to the sideline. He's hurt. Point of that football probably caught him somewhere. That did not feel good. Twins to the near side. Single wide out to the far side for the Rebels as they have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. Single set back behind Evans, who's back to throw. It's a quarterback draw. Evans finds some room on the outside. He's got first down yardage and then some as he's run out of bounds on the far side. And a little extracurricular going on again over there.
Evans, the ball carrier.
Looked like from here, Tanner McMillan ran him out of bounds.
Gain 11, first down Rebels.
So a nice gain by Evans to pick up the first down for the Rebels. Twins to the near side. Single wide out to the far side. Single back. Flanks Evans left as he's from the pistol. Back to throw. Looking to the flat. The ball is caught. Nice catch. Nice catch on the near side. Hauling that one in was Parker Watts. And, we got some big-time flags and fights going on the far side. That stuff right there will definitely get you in some trouble. You don't want to get kicked out of this one, because then you got to set the next one. It looked like it was Isaac Wallace who was in on the extracurricular for Wayne. Couldn't tell the number on the Rebel, but they were getting after it. And we can only hope that there's no ejection for either team. It's going to be a dead ball personal foul against Wayne, and I'm sure we'll get a dead ball personal foul against Tolsia. Those will offset. We see no sign of ejection. Oh, we got another personal foul against Tolsia and an ejection. So somebody's been ejected.
A dead ball personal foul against Wayne, followed by 2 dead ball personal fouls against Tulsa.
It looked like running off the field.
Players been ejected.
Was number 56, Ethan Perry, ran off the field, and that may be the one who was ejected.
The play went for a loss of 1.
So you had a loss of 1 on the play, a 15-yard penalty.
It will be 2nd and 26.
And it's going to be 2nd down and a long Uber ride for the Tolsia Rebels here. 69 was the one that was Drew Prince, who is one of their running backs, apparently was the one who was ejected from this ball game. Is what we're hearing from the sidelines. So Prince has been their fullback, not the rest of the way. Twins out of the way. Evans back to throw. Big rush. And he gives a little shuffle pass. Nice job. Prince was about to be sacked for a huge loss and somehow found a way to shuffle the pass to Bray Mollett, who gains quite a bit of yardage. Nice job by the freshman quarterback to recognize that.
Gain of 5.
He picks up 5, which was going to be a loss of about 12 to 15. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 20. But that could have been a whole lot worse than what it was. Now the officials are meeting once again. What do we got now? No flags, so clock will roll. 5:45 to go in the half. Wayne leads at 28-0. Back to throw is Evans. Looking across the middle, a jump ball intercepted by the Pioneers. Coming down with that one was Ronnie Staley.
Pass is intercepted by number 1, Ronnie Staley.
Well, that was thrown into triple, maybe even quadruple coverage as the Pioneers had dropped back both corners and a free safety back there, and that was an ill-advised pass by Evans. It's going to be picked off by Staley at the Pioneer 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for Wayne, leading it 28-0. The Pioneers have 5.5 minutes to work with here in this first half. As they break huddle, Staley works from the pistol. Twins to the near side with the wing back to the near side. They throw a screen pass to Murdoch. He makes the catch right at the line of scrimmage, turns upfield, makes one man miss, makes another man miss, and he's off to the races, but he stepped out of bounds. Yeah, he stepped out.
Right pass completed to Ryland Murdoch.
Murdoch was off to the races, but he stepped out of bounds way back at about the 39-yard line. Nice gain on the screen pass. The Murdoch stepped out right in front of the official, and he's not going to miss that one. But enough for a first down gain of about 20, 21 or so. The ball's going to be spotted at the Rebel 39-yard line. Twins to the far side. Single set back with a wing back to the far side. They fake the screen pass, looking deep. There's a man out there. Open. Oh, in and out of the grubby little paws.
Rise pass is incomplete.
Trying to see who that was intended for. I think it was Murdoch. Or E-step. It was E-step. And that ball was well thrown. Should have been caught. But if ifs and buts were candy nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, wouldn't we? 5:14 left to play here in the first half. 28-0. Murdoch and E-step split to the far side. And we've got a delay of game. Another flag.
That ball, delay of game against the Pioneers. 5-yard penalty.
So that 5-yarder will bring up 2nd and 15. Ball now spotted at the 44. A little slow getting that one in. Staley and Murdoch to the far side. Play action. And the big rush coming up, and Fry just had to get rid of that one.
Incomplete.
Tried to throw it to the tight end, Grady Spradlin, but there was a big rush coming up there. 2 coming in with only 1 blocking back, and Dameron couldn't pick them up both. So facing 3rd down and about 15. Pioneers 3 and out on their very first possession, but have not punted since. And I'd say we're in 4-down territory here. Nice pass to Spradlin, right across the middle, makes one man miss, runs through another man, still on his feet. As he gets first down yardage down to the 25-yard line. Grady Spradlin was hit. And is that Spradlin hobbling off now? Well, he turned that ankle last year.
Gain of 18. First down, Pioneers.
No, that's not good. That might just be a cramp. The way they're working on him is just a cramp. A nice pickup from Fry to Spradlin. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 26-yard line. Double wings, back to throw. Looking across the middle, and that was way out there, but there is a flag on the play. That one intended that time for Ronnie Staley. Poorly thrown pass, but under pressure was Fry. And we have a flag on the play. Surprise, surprise. Holding against the Pioneers.
Holding the call against the Pioneers.
So that'll be a 10-yarder. And this year, as it should have been all along, that will be from the previous spot, not from the spot of the foul.
It's a 10-yard penalty. 1st and 20.
So 1st and 20 for the Pioneers. Twins to the far side, single wide out to the near side, and we've got flags again, and that's going to be offsides against Tolsia. We've got to have close to 20 flags in this game so far.
That ball encroachment call against the Rebels. 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15.
Unreal how many flags. I mean, not saying the officials are wrong. I'm just saying there's a lot of flags being thrown in this one. Four and a half minutes to go in the half. 28-0. Wayne on top, driving. Now facing a 1st and 15. Play action. Fry rolls out to his right. Tries to throw it back across the middle and threw that one well low. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 15. That was a play action. Designed rollout, and Fry went to his right but could not find the receiver across the middle. So the clock arrested once again with 4:26 left to play. With all the flags and incomplete passes, we may still be here till midnight tonight. This game got started a little bit late because of the lightning delay, about 20 minutes late. Back to throw is Fry under a heavy rush. And just throws it up and is caught by Ronnie Staley. Still on his feet, coming to the near side. Makes another man miss. Makes another man miss. He may go. He's at the 5. Put 6 on the board for the Pioneers.
31 yards for a Pioneer touchdown.
31 yards, and that was all yards after catch because Fry was in trouble. And he just looked up and happened to see Staley. Flipped it to him, and Staley did the rest. He picked up a couple of great blocks along the way. But, man, he had more moves than X-Lax on that one. He was rumbling and bumbling all the way through. Put the 6 up. E-step, snap back, hold down. Kick is up, and it is no good. Wide right.
The kick is no good.
So, with 4:11 left to play here in the first half, your score now, Wayne 34, Tolsia nothing. Back in a moment on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This football broadcast is brought to you in part by our fine community partner, Rustic Ravines. Rustic Ravines offers deluxe cabin rentals and special event planning, as well as some of the best ATV riding and hiking trails in the country. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085. Rustic Ravines, a proud community partner of Pioneer Football.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 WFGH.
12 penalties, Ryan Heffling's just telling me, whistled against, that's just against Tulsa. I had the ones that Wayne has, and is that accepted penalties? we've had 4 penalties that have been declined or offset. That was weird. The line judge stepped onto the field right before they kicked it, threw his hands up, but didn't call anything. Kickoff's going to go to the far side.
Great Mollett on the return.
Mollett will bring the ball back out to about the 37th yard line or so.
Rebels will begin possession at their own 36.
We'll call it to 36 with 4 minutes, 7 seconds left to play. 34-0 your score. Wayne on top. The Rebels have had glimpses, but no sustained drives, and we've got a false start here.
Only marker before the snap.
It's going to be a false start, I do believe, against the right tackle. Looks like he stood up a hair before the snap. So that'll back him up 5 more.
First and 15.
First and 15. Twins either way for Tolsia. Shotgun formation for Evans, who's back to throw. Big rush. Steps up into the pocket, but he's going to be dropped.
Evans sacked in the backfield.
Brought down in the backfield and trying to get a number on that young man that brought him down.
Loss of 1. Second and 16.
It was Jackson Dameron. They've got Dameron on the line right now. He played linebacker most of last year. He's the nose guard now. And he is wreaking havoc in this 3-4 offense or defense that Coach Harmon has installed this season. Back to throw. Evans. That's going to be intercepted. He threw that one right to a Wayne Pioneer. Picking that one off was Zane Adkins.
Evans' pass is intercepted by number 15, Zane Adkins.
So Adkins picked that one off, and I think Adkins looked up and said, I can't believe that thing had to look as big as a saucer coming at him. I mean, it was right to it. So the interception by Adkins will give the ball back to the Pioneers. The ball is spotted at about the 19.
Possession at the Rebel 19.
First and 10. If you're wondering, the West Virginia Mercy Rule is 35 points in the fourth quarter. We do have to get to the fourth quarter, then we'll have a running clock. Kentucky, it's 36 at any time. First or second half, anytime. Handoff comes to the wing back. That's going to be Caden Hayton. And put 6 on the board for the Pioneers as Hayton goes in from 19 yards out. And the Pioneers go up 40-0. Second touchdown on the night for Caden Hayton. 6'1", 179-pound sophomore. And that will bring on Cade Estep to attempt the point after touchdown. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and looks good from here, and it is. 3:10 left to play in the first half. Your score,
in the first half.
The Pioneers of Wayne, 41. The Tolsia Rebels, 0. Back in a moment on the Gridiron Sports Network.
In the fabric of America, they are the toughest threads. One of the first things they learned was the code that every service member lives by. Leave no one behind. Now all of us need to live by it too, because some veterans are being left behind. 20 of them take their own lives every day. Learn how to be there for a veteran at BeThereForVeterans.com. Honor the code. Be there. Leave no one behind.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 FM, WFGH.
3:10 left to play here in the first half. The Wayne Pioneers leading the Tolsia Rebels 41-0. As Cade Estep set to kick it off again. Boy's got to ice his toe off here at the half break. He kicks off and extra points. He's kicked quite a few footballs here this evening. I'm not sure what we're waiting on. And here we go. High short kick, and it's fumbled but recovered by the Rebels. Falling on that one was number 0, John Gerald.
Falls on the kickoff for Tulsa.
And
begin possession at their own
38-yard line for the Rebels. Coach Tom Harmon throwing some fresh bodies out there on the defensive side of the football. Evans from the shotgun has twins either way. Single set back in behind him. They send Watts in motion and give it to him, and nothing there.
Number 11, Parker Watts, the ball carrier.
Tried a little jet sweep there with Watts, and he's going to lose a couple. He was swarmed by the Pioneer defense.
2nd and 12.
Clock running with 2:45 left to play here in the first half. Wayne leads at 41-0. Tulsa with the football, facing a 2nd and 12 from their own 36-yard line. Shotgun formation. Twins either way for Evans. Single setback, flanks his left as he's back to throw. Looking downfield, has a man across the middle of the field and in and out of his hands. Watts had that one.
Evans pass, incomplete.
And it may have been knocked loose by Justin Perry.
3rd down. 12 yards to go.
But Watts had that one right in his hands and let it slip through. The Rebels come straight to the football and now look over to Coach David Thompson. Facing a 3rd and 12 from their own 36. Clock arrested at 2:18 left to play here in the half. Once again, twins either way. Shotgun formation. Evans back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Now he picks it up, tries to take off, but he's stopped. A nice play there by Tanner McMillan. Tanner McMillan able to bring him down behind the line for a sack, a loss of another yard.
4th down, 13 yards.
It's going to bring up 4th and 13. And another punting situation for the Rebels with a minute 52 left to play and a running clock.
Evans in punt formation for the Rebels. Ryland Murdoch deep for one.
Ryland Murdoch back deep, standing at his own 35-yard line for Wayne. Good snap. They're going to think about faking it. He looked, but then kicked it straight up in the air. Takes a nice Tolsia bounce inside the 45 to the 35 to the 34-yard line. where it'll be 1st and 10 for Wayne with 1:19 to go. Evans just kind of stood there for a moment. Looked like he might try to throw that ball. They're going to actually put it at the 35-yard line.
Pioneers begin possession, throw 35.
And acted like he might throw that ball, then kicked it straight up in the air. Had a lot of front spin on it. Took a nice bounce. So the Pioneers will need to go 65 yards in 1:19, or they're just going to run this one out. They hand that one off, I believe, to
48, Jackson Dameron.
Dameron will get a yard.
Gain of 1. 2nd and 9.
Bring up 2nd and 9. So Coach Tommy Harmon may be content to head to the locker room.
Your attention, please. Please yell if you are paying attention.
Fisher Fry, the ball carrier.
Fisher Fry keeps that one. Excuse me.
Gain of 14. 1st down, Pioneers.
I'm not sure what just happened there. But we'll figure it out. First game of the season for everybody. So here's a handoff up the gut. And nice gain for Jackson Dameron. He gets a 1st down with about 2 seconds left to play.
Gain of 13. 1st down, Pioneers.
And that will probably...
And that is the end of the first half.
In the first half.
With your score, Wayne 41.
We played 24 minutes of football. Your score at the half, Wayne 41, Tolsia 0. We're going to take a break if I can figure out what I'm doing here, Fred. I hope I get this right. I know we need to start the... well, what do we got? A little... nothing major, but a little bit of talking there as they leave the field. I got it. I got it, Fred. We had to clear that list, didn't we? Now we can start everything back up. First one, folks. First game of the season. I'm a little rusty on the controls, but we're ready to rock and roll now. At the half, the Wayne Pioneers lead the Tolsia Rebels 41-0. We'll be back in a couple of moments to the Gridiron Sports Network.
Sponsored by Rustic Ravines. Rustic Ravines offers deluxe cabin rentals and special event planning, as well as some of the best ATV riding and hiking trails in the country. You'll also find kayaking and canoeing, a 3D bow range, fishing, hunting, golfing, and a pet and horse-friendly resort. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook or 304-385-1085.
In the fabric of America, they are the toughest threads, our bravest, and most selfless. They raised their hands, stepped forward, and served for each other, for you, and me. One of the first things they learned was the code that every service member lives by. Leave no one behind. Now all of us need to live by it too, because some veterans are being left behind. 20 of them take their own lives every day.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place finish first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined.
I am disciplined. Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier. There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 WFGH.
Now back here at halftime, where the Wayne Pioneers lead the Tolsia Rebels, score 41-0. It's been all Wayne here, quite honestly, folks, in the early going. Wayne's first drive, they were a 3-and-out, but ever since then, except for the final drive in which they just ran out of time, they scored. And it's just been a domination by the Pioneers here. Of course, Tolsia down to their second-string quarterback. He's a freshman. They lost one of their starting linemen last week or week before last. They lost their starting quarterback last week. And Coach Thompson knew, as we talked in the pregame, that it was going to be an uphill battle with such a young bunch. And, of course, Coach Tom Harmon, veteran bunch back and trying some different things this year. And right now working pretty well for them as they have jumped out to a 41-0 lead here at the half. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at scores from across the area for you. Like I said, some games tonight postponed or delayed. Some will be pushed back to tomorrow. I know the Scott game for this evening, I talked to my buddy Joe Linville. That game's been postponed until tomorrow. But we'll take a look and see who is playing across the area and get some scores for you when we return. As at the half, the Wayne Pioneers lead the Tolsia Rebels 41-0, and you're hearing it all right here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This sports presentation is brought to you by our valued community partner, Rustic Ravines. Here's what the Evans family had to say about their experience.
We had the best time. Everyone was friendly, professional, and made us feel welcomed. We rented a side-by-side for a 5-hour ride with our guide through the beautiful mountains of West Virginia. We highly recommend, and we'll be back.
Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085.
I am an American soldier.
I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place finish first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined.
I am disciplined. Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier. There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. Military families endure frequent deployments and separations. They carry on while their loved ones are sent into harm's way and wait patiently for their safe return. If you really want to honor a veteran, look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices.
Listening to high school football action on 90.7 FM WFGH.
At the half here at Wayne High School, where the Wayne Pioneers lead the Tolsia Rebels 41-0. I did talk to my buddy Ryan Epling. 18 accepted penalties in that first half. We had at least 4 that were offsetting, so 22 penalty flags thrown in that first half. And with all that, with all the delays and the incomplete passes, there's no flow here to this ball game. But at the half, Wayne leads Tulsa 41-0. Let's take a look at some scores from across the state of West Virginia. And don't forget, stay tuned after our game tonight. We'll be joining Fred Persinger and the gang for Friday night football and all the scores and interviews and all that good stuff after our game here tonight right here on the Gridiron Sports Network. They are playing in the second quarter. It must have got delayed up there as well, as number 1 Huntington leads Spring Valley 28-0. Martinsburg and Clarkson, number 2 and 3A, Martinsburg and Clarkson. That game is going to be played tomorrow now, and it's going to be played in Ironton, Ohio. Clarkson from Canada. Game that was played last night, Hurricane, number 3 in AAA, beat the number 4 in AA Winfield last night, 63-0. Winfield, huge team last year, making the playoffs, and wow, get pummeled here last night at Hurricane, 63-0. At the half, Bridgeport, number 4 in AAA, leads Buchanan Upshur 41-0. Cabell Midland defeated George Washington last night 49-21. In the second period, Parkersburg South leads Capital 42-6. Morgantown, number 8 in AAA, leads South Charleston 58-0. Jefferson leads Spring Mills in the third quarter 21-6. Early in the first quarter, no score between Ripley and Brook. Hampshire at the half leads Preston 21-0. The game between Princeton and Lincoln County has been postponed for this evening. They will play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Musselman leads Hanley, Virginia at the half. 28-21 is the score in that one. Nicholas County, a AA school, is leading Oak Hill AAA 10-0 in the third quarter. Parkersburg leads St. Albans, 7-0 in the first period. University leads John Marshall 25-0, that in the second quarter. Page County, Virginia and Washington scoreless in the first. Wheeling Park leads Hedgesville 39-0, that game in the second quarter. And Woodrow Wilson leading Riverside 26-0. Across the area now in AA tonight, Independence, number 1, is leading at Liberty Raleigh 54-0. That's a shellacking there at Liberty Raleigh. As we said, it's supposed to be a huge top 10 matchup tonight in the actually the Metro News Class AA game of the week, which is Herbert Hoover at Scott. That game has been postponed. It will be played tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So Hoover and Scott, number 2 versus number 8 preseason. Wow. Big matchup, and they'll play that one tomorrow evening at Scott, 7 p.m. Number 6 Bluefield is tied with Graham. Of course, that's a big rival there, right? Battle of the border there, as Graham and Bluefield right there, right across the state line from each other. Battle of Bluefield, 7-7 the score there in the second period. North Marion defeated East Fairmont. That game played last night, 55-24. At the half, Roane County leads Shady Spring 14-7. Kaiser leads Robert C. Byrd 28-0. Midland Trail and Clay County just getting underway. Liberty Harrison is leading Elkins 14-0 at the half. Philip Barber leads Grafton 42-14 at the half. Lincoln County on top of Braxton 48-0. Nitro leads Polka at the half 21-6. Greenbrier East, who is a AAA school, is leading Point Pleasant at the half 7-6. Chapmanville leads Sissonville at the half 21-0. Weir leads Oak Glen 21-0, that game in the second period. And at halftime, Eastside leads Wyoming East 7-6. Moving on over to the single A scoreboard tonight. Number 1 Williamstown is all over Ravenswood at the half, 55-0. The big matchup in single A, number 2 versus number 3. James Monroe, the number 2 team, leading Wheeling Central 25-13. Another big single A matchup, number 4 Wahama
Spring Valley, nothing.
is leading East Hardy, the number 8 team in the state, in single A, 24-12.
AA scores throughout the state tonight.
St. Mary's leads Doddridge County. It's a battle of top 10. St. Mary's at number 9, Doddridge County at number 5. And right now, St. Mary's putting it all over Doddridge, 34-14. Frankfort, a AA school, is leading Moorfield in the third period, 28-0. Number 6 in single A, Greenbrier West leads Pendleton County, 21-7. Early on, Cameron, the number 7 team in single A, and West Green, Pennsylvania, just getting that one underway. The number 10 team in the state, Tucker County, leads Pocahontas County, 57-0. Calhoun County and Gilmer County just getting underway. 100 is leading Clay Battelle, 14-8. That's in the third period. Logan and Mann just getting underway, no score there. Van and Meadowbridge just getting underway, no score in that one. Riverview leading Mount View 20-0, that one in the second period. Petersburg leads Berkeley Springs 13-0 at the half. Tyler Consolidated is leading Ritchie 7-0 in the first period. Sherman, West Virginia leads Hurley, Virginia. Actually, they are tied, 12-12 at the half.
Hurricane defeated Winfield, 63-0.
33. South Harrison 6. That's in the third quarter.
It's James Monroe.
Pikeview is trailing Summers County, 47-22. Mingo Central putting it all over Tug Valley, 38-0. Valley leads Tigers Valley 13-0. That's in the first period. And by the way, that Mingo Central Tug Valley is a final. That game played last night. Mingo Central 38, Tug Valley nothing. Richwood and Webster just getting underway. And Madonna leads Wellsville, Ohio 26-0. That's in the second quarter. Much of the state got a late start. We got a late start in this one. We were delayed only about 20 minutes. It wasn't bad. But we did have a couple of very, very, very close lightning strikes, and enough that the officials put the teams in the locker room and the local officials vacated the stadium. Of course, those of us who aren't all that bright stayed right up here in the press box and tempted fate, but we were okay. But we did see a lightning strike off to the south. That was it was a bad one. I mean, it was loud, and we saw the bolt all the way down to the ground. It was impressive, to say the least. And so we were very appreciative that the local officials were smart enough to vacate the stadium here. But we got things underway at about 7:20. Wayne leads the Tolsia Rebels here at the half, 41-0. We'll take a quick break, come back, and we'll get started here in about 7 or 8 minutes here in the at Wayne Stadium as the Pioneers and Rebels doing battle here tonight at Wayne. 41-0. Wayne on top. Back in a little bit here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This presentation of Pioneer Football is sponsored by Rustic Ravines. Rustic Ravines offers deluxe cabin rentals and special event planning, as well as some of the best ATV riding and hiking trails in the country. You'll also find kayaking and canoeing, a 3D bow range, fishing, hunting, golfing, and a pet and horse-friendly resort. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook or 304-385-1085.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 FM WFGH.
Back here at the half, playing a little Sweet Caroline in the background. Fans kind of getting into it. The crowd obviously down some early, but a pretty decent crowd has trickled in here tonight. Of course, the Battle of Wayne County here, and a good crowd on hand as the Pioneers come back out onto the field for halftime warm-ups. If you missed our pregame, or the first part of it anyway, we did take a moment to honor the loss of our dear Miss Hazel. Hazel Dameron passed away on June 9th at the age of 94, and Well, I tell you what, Miss Hazel was one of my biggest supporters, and I'm certainly going to miss talking to her and her encouragement that she always gave me, and never, ever went off the phone without her telling me that she loved me and she was proud of me. And I so much appreciated that fine lady. She was a godly woman, and while we will miss her, we are also confident in the fact that of where she is, and she's in heaven. She lived her whole life to accomplish that goal. So we will miss her. We're not sad, but we will miss her dearly. And the station has set up a website called hazelswish.com. hazelswish.com. And we are planning a memorial service for Miss Hazel next summer. And if you would like to volunteer, we're not asking for money. We're not asking for anything but maybe a little time and prayer. And if you would go to hazelswish.com, and you can sign up there to be a volunteer in planning her memorial. Whatever skill set you think you might have in helping us do that, just go there to the website and check it out and sign up for a volunteer. You're not selling your information to a company to send you ads or send you money solicitations. It's just strictly a voluntary a website to try to gather an army of Hazel good wishes, and we just want you to be a Hazel helper and help us in the endeavors of Hazel's Wish. And so if you are so inclined to do so while you're sitting here waiting for the second half, go over to hazelswish.com. Sign up. Won't take you very long, and we certainly would appreciate that. Certainly going to miss Miss Hazel. 45 years she was the voice of Wayne County on local radio stations, and I know for a fact she listened to games, because when I would talk to her, she would tell me something I said, and always said she was proud of me, and I appreciate that. Even when I might have said something maybe I shouldn't have. She never told me that, but I'm sure I did. But she was always listening in and was very proud of. She called us her boys with Randy and Danny and Rick Marone, who do the game of the week. And I wish they were here with us tonight, but circumstances didn't allow that. But she called us her boys, and of course those guys have been doing this for a lot longer than I have, and they were her boys before I ever thought about being. But I was very honored to be among those that she called her boys. And of course Fred, her son, works tirelessly at the station. He's back in the studio control keeping us on the air here tonight. Fred comes and sets everything up, and is just a tremendous worker for the radio stations, and I certainly appreciate Fred a great deal. And he's going right on and doing the things that Hazel would want him to do, and I appreciate you, Fred. I know you're listening because you're running the board back there, but I appreciate you, brother, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. Well, we're getting ready to start the second half here at Wayne High School. The Pioneers will kick off to open this second half. Now, normally they put 3 minutes up at the end of this, but I think they've elected to just let that 3 minutes slide since we're at 41-0. And it looks like we're going to 8-minute quarters. At least there's 8 on the scoreboard. I guess we've elected to play 8-minute quarters in the second half. Try to get everybody home at a decent hour tonight. I'm all for that. 8-minute quarters will suit me just fine. So, got a new kicker out there. Gavin Daniels looks like he's going to be, Wyatt Brown, freshman. He's going to kick this one off. Short kick, high. Comes up to about the 30-yard line. And a nice return by Mollett. Gets it all the way out to about the 40-yard line of Tulsa. And we're going to see some younger players on the field right now for the Pioneers, I'm sure. They're going to spot the football at right at the 40. Nope, they're going to go back to the 39.
Rebels will begin possession at their own 39-yard line.
So lots of fresh jerseys out there for the Wayne Pioneers. Looks like we've also got a new quarterback. Nope, we don't. And right off the stick.
Marker before the snap.
First play from scrimmage, the second half, and we got a flag. Now, folks, I'm not dogging these officials at all. These are obvious penalties that they have to call for the safety of the players. It's unreal that that's the 19th accepted penalty of this ball game, and we're well up into the mid-20s in illegal participation is the call.
Dead ball and illegal substitution. The call against Tolsia.
And
5-yard penalty. It will be first.
It is a sloppily played football game right now. Evans will hand it off to the first back through. He'll pick up close to the 5 yards that they lost on the penalty. Trying to get a number on that young man. Well, it appeared to be John Gerald on the carry.
0, John Gerald's the ball carrier.
And he'll pick up 4. So to bring up 2nd and 11.
Gain of 4, second down, 11 yards to go.
Evans is up under center. They were spread all over the place here in the first half. Now they're and then Evans drops back to pass. And a big sack comes in from Isaac Wallace, 5'10", 165-pound senior. So Wallace gets in on the sack attack. That ball is going to be lost all the way back to the 30-yard line. 31 possibly, and it's going to be third down, a long way to go, about 17. Now they will spread it out, twins either way, shotgun formation for Evans. Mollett will flank his left. Back to throw, big rush, and he gets away from one but can't get away from the second. And he's going to be dropped once again. Nice defense by the Pioneers.
Evans once again brought down for a sack.
Brought down that time. It looks like a number 10, but I don't have a number 10 on my roster. Maybe
at the 25. Loss of 7.
But nonetheless,
down 24 yards to go.
It's going to be fourth down and a long Uber ride for the Rebels. So Evans will kick it away once again.
Evans in punt formation for the Rebels.
Good snap. Gets away a nice kick. It's going to bounce and go past Ashton Walker. And it will be
a 35-yard punt.
35-yard punt.
40-yard line.
So the Pioneers will take over 1st and 10 on their own 40. Well, on our 2-deep, Grady Spradlin was listed as the backup quarterback, but I'm not sure that's who it's going to be. I see a number 22 out there, but I don't have a 22 on my roster. White Brown is number 22. Thank you, Ryan Epplin. So Wyatt Brown is number 22, and he's going to be the quarterback duties as he gives a handoff up the gut.
30, Tristan Turner, the ball carrier.
Tristan Turner on the carry for the Pioneers will pick up a couple. So lots of new faces out there for the Wayne Pioneers as they lead at 41-0 here with 5:24 left to play in the third period. And we're playing 8-minute quarters, and I'm assuming a fourth period running clock. So this game will be over fast. Handoff to the first back through is going to be thrown for a loss. And I have no idea who that was. I'm sorry. It looked like number 10, but I don't have a number 10 on my roster.
Play goes for a loss of 2. It is 3rd and 10.
Loss of a couple. Going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Shotgun formation. Jet sweep. Trying to turn the corner and not much there. On the carry that time was Justin Perry.
Perry's ball carrier.
And Perry picks up maybe a yard. No, I don't think he got. Yeah, maybe a yard. It's going to be 4th down.
9 yards to go.
4th and 9. So for only the second time tonight, the Pioneers will punt the football. On their opening drive, they went 3 and out. Now they're not going to punt it now. They're going for it. At least they're showing they're going for it. And there's a fumbled snap, and we got a flag. And I don't know what's going on. We got a flag, so that's going to be a dead ball. It's going to be a false start against the Pioneers and back them up 5 more. And because of the nature of the infraction, that one cannot be
4th and 14.
declined. So it's going to be 4th and 14, and Coach Harmon's still going to go for it. Now we got another flag. And that's going to be offsides against Tulsa.
That ball encroachment to call against.
We are fastly approaching 30 penalties in this ball game, if you count the offset declined penalties. So, tit for tat, we will be 4th and 9 once again. Once again, Wayne will come to the line and go for it on 4th and 9. Wyatt Brown fumbles the snap. It's recovered by, doesn't matter who it's recovered by. It's going to be Tolsia football.
John Gerald with the fumble recovery.
Gerald came up with a fumble recovery on 4th down. Didn't matter. They were going to get the football anyway, so Tolsia will take it back. 1st and 10. Ball spotted now at the Wayne 39-yard line. Looks like we may have a new quarterback in the ball game as Jesse Gerald, number 3.
At the Wayne 39.
Appears to be, nope. Caleb Thompson is going to be your new quarterback. Thompson hands off to Gerald, Jesse Gerald, and he gets swarmed.
Number 3, Jesse Gerald, the ball carrier.
Isaac Wallace was the initial hit. And that's going to be a loss of a couple. Well, they may give him a loss of a yard. Back to the 40-yard line, so 2nd and 11.
Loss of 1, 2nd down, 11 yards to go.
3:15 left to play in the 3rd period. 41-0, Wayne on top. Thompson up under center. He's going to keep it. Tried himself, and he'll get a couple, maybe 3.
14, Caleb Thompson, the ball carrier.
And Tolsia's called a timeout. With 2:58 remaining here in the 3rd, I think we'll have a running clock in the 4th, so this one will go quick. Remind you to visit superstationsilver.com. Get silver and gold delivered to your door. There's a way for you to buy silver and gold just like the rich guys. Real silver, real gold you can hold in your hand. With a 7K Metals membership, your exclusive member benefits include accumulate silver and gold at market price fractionally, access to a sound money wallet where you can buy silver and gold incrementally, access to affordable group health care, 7K Advantage discounts, and savings with over 800,000 ways to save at local restaurants, on big-name brands, on travel and accommodation. Several other useful exclusive member benefits. Simply select one of the calendar buttons and choose a date for your appointment, and one of our associates will reach out to you. Your membership proudly supports the Superstation Network and Hazel's Wish. Visit superstationsilver.com to learn more. Back to action after the timeout. Twins either way. Back to throw and an interception. Ball taken at the 35-yard line, and he may go all the way. It's Isaac Wallace. Put 6 on the board, but we've got flags.
Isaac Wallace returned for a Pioneer touchdown. There is a penalty marker on the play.
And that looked like a good block from here. From where I'm sitting, that looked like a very good block. A hard block, but a good block. But I think they're going to call. And I mean, that young man is addled. Looks like Wesley Sloan, the senior. He got up and wobbled. It was a hard hit, no question, but it looked like it was head on, unless they're going to try to call targeting. I don't think he led with his helmet, but they may call that. But from here, it looked like not a block in the back. It looked like a head-on block, and he crumpled bad, but they may call targeting. He may have led with his helmet. I don't know. We'll check the preliminary signal by the officials. Blindside block. That was not a blindside block. I mean, I'm sorry. It was right in front of us here at the press box. It was not blindside. It was straight on. I mean, it was a hard hit. Don't get me wrong, folks. I mean, it was a hard hit. One of the hardest hits on a block I've seen in a long time. And this young man is not moving well. Wesley Sloan, he got up and tried to go to the sideline, and he was wobbly. I mean, looked like a fighter that had just taken a punch. And he slumped back down as trainers were there, and trainers are on site. Let's take a break. We'll come back in just a moment while they attend to this young man on the field. With 2:46 to go in the third, Wayne leads Tolsia 41-0 on the Gridiron Sports Network.
It's that very special time of the year, and that means it's time for high school football. This is Fred Persinger inviting you to join Dave, Jacqueline, and me every Friday night this fall for High School Game Night on the Metro News Radio Network. We'll bring you all the scores, stories, and interviews from high school football games being played all over the state. High School Game Night, 17 years and going strong. Heard every Friday night.
After the game tonight on the Superstation Network. You're listening to high school football action on Sports Radio 90.7 WFGH.
Well, Wesley Sloan, the young man that's down on the field and still attending to him. And, folks, I mean, he took a shot. There is no question about it. He took a very hard hit. And they're actually bringing... EMTs are now bringing a gurney onto the field. They're going to take him to the hospital. Nothing malicious in the hit. It was a hard hit. I don't think it was blindside. I think it was straight on, but the officials deemed otherwise. But it was not malicious. It was just a block to spring an intercepted football, but that was one of the hardest hits I've seen in a while. You could hear it up here. But the path of the football that I was following, we could see the block, and it was hard. Not gonna sugarcoat that. It was a very violent hit. But well, certainly our thoughts and prayers for this young man. It appears to be Wesley Sloan who is down. The EMTs are on the field. Trainers are still working with him. They have brought out the backboard. in just a somber mood. The Wayne crowd was very exuberant just prior as the Pioneers lead 41-0. But and was poised to put 6 more on the board, but this young man, injuries like this certainly take the exuberance out of a crowd, and rightfully so, as quite a somber mood is taken over as this young man being tended to by athletic training staff. EMTs are on the field now with a backboard. We certainly hope it's nothing more than a good bell ring, but as they slide the backboard now, he got up after the play and started walking towards the sideline, and then his legs went very wobbly and he went back down. And so you got to think concussion certainly in play. No one speculate. I'm not a doctor. I'm not down there. So we leave that in the hands of the professionals who are on the field right now. Got professional athletic trainers down there, EMTs down there, and they're going to do their best to take care of this young man and get him to the hospital. But certainly something you absolutely hate to see, no matter who you're a fan of, is to see any young man get hurt during a high school football contest. We know the risk and dangers. It's there. It certainly is. But you just hate to see it. Coach Harmon alongside Coach Thompson as they're having a discussion. And as they try to, they've got the backboard underneath the young man, and it appears they have plenty of folks out there to lift him up, to get him on the gurney, and they will then take him to the ambulance. Kind of surprised they didn't bring the ambulance onto the field. He is up and lifted onto the gurney now, as they are keeping his head and neck very still. He is being immobilized. His head is immobilized on that backboard, and they will get him to the hospital. So certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to that young man. I do believe that that's Wesley Sloan, number 25, it appeared to be. And let's take another quick break as we reflect on this young man, pray for him, and hope that all goes well.
In the fabric of America, they are the toughest threads. One of the first things they learned was the code that every service member lives by. Leave no one behind. Now all of us need to live by it too, because some veterans are being left behind. 20 of them take their own lives every day. Learn how to be there for a veteran at BeThereForVeterans.com. Honor the code. Be there. Leave no one behind.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 WFGH.
Well, things you just hate to see at a high school football game. Young man on the gurney. As they're trying to get him to the ambulance. In a situation like that, the score means very little. Wins and losses mean very little. This young man, we do not know the extent. I'm sure they are taking the full precautions that they can, as they are now bringing the ambulance up by the track. So I thought that would be not a very smart idea to take him the length of the football, well, half the football field. He's near the 50. So they have brought the ambulance onto the track right next door. So Wesley Sloan is going to be put in the ambulance and taken to the local hospital to be evaluated, I'm sure, and our thoughts and prayers certainly go out to him, his family, his teammates. Well, that is tough. I have been a part of a team in which a teammate was injured and sent by ambulance to the hospital, and it is very difficult on the team. It's difficult on everyone involved. So thoughts and prayers certainly go out to Wesley Sloan, his family, and the Tolsia Rebel team, as they also must find a way to finish this football game. 2:46 to go in the third period. 41-0. Wayne leads it. After the penalty, they'll have 1st and 10. The ball is spotted back at the Pioneer 44-yard line. We are playing 8-minute quarters, and I'm assuming that 35 points in the fourth quarter. I do believe that's the West Virginia rule. 35 points in the fourth quarter is a running clock. I know over in Kentucky it's 36 points at any point, and you have a running clock. First quarter, whatever. Okay, so the Pioneers will try to get back on track here, and we'll see what happens. Broken play as they do hand the ball off to Jared Perry, and Perry will get up near midfield.
Number 6, Jared Perry, the ball carrier.
They'll spot him down right near the 50. We'll call it the 50. So bring up 2nd and 4. Clock rolling with 2:15 here in the third. That looked more like a busted play, but ended up with positive yardage. Shotgun formation. They fake it to the jet sweep, give it to the fullback, and he'll gain a couple as he gets across midfield. Try to check the runner there. Running the football there appeared to be Jared Perry, number 6. So Jared Perry
Play goes for a gain of 3.
will pick up 3.
3rd and a long yard.
It'll be 3rd and about 2. Shotgun formation once again, and that one's dropped. That one hit Brown right in the face mask as it came back. I mean, that looked like a snap for a punt. And Tolsia will take over as they recovered. John Jarrell right at the 50-yard line.
Rebels begin possession at the 50-yard line.
I think the center right there may have thought they were punting the football because that was a rocket right at Brown's face. And the fumble recovered by Jarrell will give the football back to the Rebels with 1:14 to go here in the third. Caleb Thompson will come up under center. I formation in behind him. Twins to the right side. And Thompson with a quarterback keep. Tries to go around the right side.
14.
We'll pick up about 4 on the play. Nice job there by Jared Perry to come up with the tackle. Number 6, Perry. 5'7", 137-pound senior. As we're under a minute to play here in the third. Thompson comes back up under center. Twins to the far side. Single wide out to the near side. High formation in behind him. They give it to the first back through, and that is John Jarrell. And Jarrell gets first down yardage.
John Jarrell, the ball carrier.
As he gets down across the 30.
Gain of 21, first down Rebels.
To about the 25-yard line, thereabouts. And that will be the final play of this third period. We'll head to the fourth and final. Wayne leads Tolsia 41-0. You're hearing it all right here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
The real Don Steele. Live from the 60s. All right.
I'm going to tell you, you can't listen to this one sitting down, so come on, everybody. Now I want you to do that funny little thing you do with your mouth here. Okay, pucker up. That's it. I love it. Sly and the Family Stone, ladies and
Live from the 60s with a real Don Steele, Monday at 7 on WFGH. You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 FM, WFGH.
Fourth and final period. $41-0. Wayne leads. They put 8 minutes on the clock, and I do believe we'll have a running clock here in the fourth. If I was a White Hat, I'd start the clock right now, and he is. It will not stop. I think a score is the only thing that stops it, or a timeout. I wouldn't even stop it for a score. I'd let that baby run.
It's rolling through.
Thompson comes up under center, I formation with a single wide out either way. They give it to the big fullback. I believe that's Matthew Kelly.
77, Levi Parsley, the ball carrier.
Levi Parsley, I'm sorry, 77, not 74. Picks up
gain of 9.
About 9 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 1. Ball spotted right near the 25. Or excuse me, the 16. Handoff first back through, and going to lose a yard there. Ball carrier there was Jesse Jarrell.
On the carry.
He'll lose a yard and bring up 3rd down and 2.
Loss of 1. 3rd down, 2 yards to go.
Basically have a JV game going on right now. $41-0. Clock running with 6:25 to go. Pioneers looking to go 1-0 here in the early going. As Coach Harmon said in pregame, you can't win them all if you don't win the first one. And just about took the handoff there. Linebacker blitz through.
Jarrell on the carry.
On Jarrell and
Dave Wayman on the stop of the Pioneers.
Just about took the handoff, did Wayland. So it went from 2nd and 1
loss of 3
to 4th down and about 5.
5 yards to go.
Fortunately, the running clock will allow this one to go off into the night. Shotgun formation. As Evans is back in the ball game, looking to throw. And is tipped and falls incomplete, but we've got a flag on the play.
Pass is incomplete. There is a penalty marker on the play.
Now we're getting ridiculous with the flags. In a running clock, there is no reason to throw a flag. None whatsoever, unless it's just absolutely egregious. It's going to be pass interference.
Pass interference, the call against the Pioneers.
Against the Pioneers, so that'll be an automatic first down.
At the distance of the goal.
So it'll be
Rebels.
first and goal from the 9-yard line. The shutout in danger. As the new quarterback in is Cody Blackburn. The handoff to Jesse Gerald, and he got nothing.
Jesse Gerald, the ball carrier.
Matter of fact, his helmet came off, and now he's on the turf.
Loss of 1, it will be 2nd and 11.
He's back up. He will have to leave the ball game because he lost his helmet. And the referee, they're going to let him stay out there? No, referee's telling him, you got to come off the field, pal. You lost your helmet. So Coach Thompson will have to find someone else to run in there. Clock rolling, 3:35 remains in the ball game. Wayne leads at 41-0. Cody Blackburn is in at quarterback for the Rebels. Handoff, nothing doing. Another loss. Ball carrier there was Peyton Rice.
The ball carrier.
So 3rd and goal.
Loss of 1.
From about the 11, 12-yard line. Single wide out to the far side, single wide out to the near side. I formation in behind Blackburn. Rolling out for a quarterback keep, and he's smothered.
Number 1, Cody Blackburn, the ball carrier.
A host of Pioneers. Bring him down. Then it'll be 4th and goal.
4th and goal at the 12.
2:22 remaining in this one. Pioneers can get a stop here and maintain the shutout. They can run out the clock and end this one mercifully as the snap comes back to Blackburn. He's going to try to turn the corner, and that could be a horse collar, and that's exactly what they're going to call.
Blackburn, the ball carrier, penalty markers on the play.
They're going to call a horse collar, and that's a good call. He was brought down by his shoulder pads, and that's a no-brainer. That's going to be a half the distance and an automatic first down. Or they're going to call it the face mask. I thought he got him by the horse collar, but nonetheless. It occurred at about the 8-yard line, so they'll put it down at about the 4.
Face mask, the call against the Pioneers.
First and goal.
Foul. It is 4th and goal at the 4.
So Tolsia remains alive to try to erase that goose egg. Quarterback draw. Not much, maybe a yard.
Ball carrier.
Blackburn on the quarterback draw maybe picks up a yard. And Tolsia's going to call a timeout.
The Pioneers will take over on down.
Oh, that was not an automatic first down. I thought the face mask was automatic, but it wasn't. So a over on downs, and Wayne does not need to snap the football. The play clock is at 30. The game clock's at 28. That's the ball game. They do not have to snap it. Are they going to? Maybe. I would not. I don't think the officials are going to let them. I don't think the referee's going to let him snap the football. He is not. He's going to stand right there and say, that's the football game. So that's your final score.
Wayne 41.
Wayne at 41. Tolsia, nothing. We're going to take a break, come back for the fifth quarter, take a look at how this one wraps up for you as the Wayne Pioneers defeat Tolsia 41-0. You heard it all right here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This football broadcast is brought to you in part by our fine community partner, Rustic Ravines. Joe and the gang will be hosting their world-famous all-you-can-eat dinner buffet Saturday, September 3rd from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085. Rustic Ravines, a proud community partner of Pioneer Football.
The real non-steel. Live from the 60s.
3, 2, 1, 0. Godspeed, John Glenn.
Oh, that view is tremendous.
We choose to go to the moon.
To be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Ask what you can do for your country.
So only Congress has the power to declare war.
Something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
The answer is blowing away.
30 million persons found themselves without light, subways, elevators, air conditioning. Where were you when the lights went out?
Oh, yeah. Tell you something. Oh, the times they are changing.
But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. To the war in Vietnam.
I am ready to lead our country.
Now it's the same old song. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride?
You got
Live from the 60s.
And yours truly.
Real non-steel.
Yeah. Live from the 60s, Monday at 7 on WFGH.
It's time for the fifth quarter, a complete recap of tonight's game, and a look at scores from other games across the region. Now, let's go back to the press box on Sports Radio 90.7 WFGH.
Well, the Wayne Pioneers winning here tonight over the Tolsia Rebels, 41-0 game, never in question. Probably the biggest stat of the night that we could give was, I guarantee you there were over 30 penalties called in this ball game, and it was just a sloppy ball game. But the Wayne Pioneers came in, expected to win, took care of business. They punted twice on the night. They gave it over on downs once, and that was very late in the game when the game was out of question. They did sputter on their opening series, but after that, it was all Wayne. It was just a dominating performance of both offensively and defensively against, quite honestly, an outmatched Tolsia Rebel team, playing without several key players tonight due to injury, and a couple injured here tonight, actually, and one ejected here tonight. So it may not be a fun ride for the Rebels for next week. But nonetheless, Wayne gets that first win of the season and gets on their way to get better. And, they travel to Scott next week, so they better get better and get better quick. Scott's a very explosive football team, as we saw last year, and so it will be an interesting trip down there. Scott was supposed to play tonight against Hoover. That game has been postponed until tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So, they give them a day less, maybe helpful, maybe not. I don't know. We'll come back and wrap things up for you after this break here on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This sports presentation is brought to you by our valued community partner, Rustic Ravines. Here's what the Evans family had to say about their experience.
We had the best time. Everyone was friendly, professional, and made us feel welcomed. We rented a side-by-side for a 5-hour ride with our guide through the beautiful mountains of West Virginia. We highly recommend, and we'll be back.
Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook, or their phone number is 304-385-1085.
I am an American soldier.
I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always lay fish first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined.
I am disciplined.
Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier. There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
As we recognize the service of America's men and women in uniform, let's also honor the families who sacrifice so much every day. Military families endure frequent deployments and separations. They carry on while their loved ones are sent into harm's way and wait patiently for their safe return. If you really want to honor a veteran, look for ways to support their families and thank them for their sacrifices.
Listening to high school football action on Sports Radio 90.7 WFGH.
Welcome back. Where the Tolsia Rebels fall to the Wayne Pioneers here tonight at Wayne High School in the season opener. 41-0 your final. Thanks to my buddy Ryan Epling for giving me a few stats I can pass along to you. Fisher Friday night attempted 14 passes, completed 6 of those for 126 yards and 3 touchdowns. So a very nice night for Fisher Fry, and just a little different. I don't know that I've seen 14 passes total by a Wayne Pioneer quarterback in a while. That was definitely more passing than rushing here tonight, especially in the early going. And so a nice night for Fisher Fry, and catching the majority of those passes. Well, he spread them out pretty good. Murdoch had 30. Let me check that again. He had 30 yards receiving on those. Stakely had 46 and a couple of TDs. So really nice penalties tonight. Wow. That is a whole different ball game. There were 9 penalties called against Wayne. 9 against Wayne. Accepted penalties. And there were 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 penalties called against Tolsia. So 24 accepted penalties. There were a couple of offsetting penalties, and just an ugly ball game. That's about all you can say about it. And then again, and in no way suggesting the officials didn't that they called a bad game. They called an excellent game. It was just that sloppy of a football game, which you kind of expect in the early going. We'll come back and wrap things totally up for you after this break. You're listening to Wayne and Tolsia football on the Gridiron Sports Network.
This presentation of Pioneer Football is sponsored by Rustic Ravines. Rustic Ravines offers deluxe cabin rentals and special event planning, as well as some of the best ATV riding and hiking trails in the country. You'll also find kayaking and canoeing, a 3D bow range, fishing, hunting, golfing, and a pet and horse-friendly resort. Rustic Ravines can be found on Facebook or 304-385-1085.
In the fabric of America, they are the toughest threads, our bravest, and most selfless. They raised their hands, stepped forward, and served. For each other, for you, and me. One of the first things they learned was the code that every service member lives by. Leave no one behind. Now all of us need to live by it too, because some veterans are being left behind. 20 of them take their own lives every day.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined.
I am disciplined. Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior task and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
You're listening to high school football action on 90.7 WFGH.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here tonight. The Wayne Pioneers winners 41-0 over the Tolsia Rebels. Just outmatched, no question about it. And certainly looking forward to the trip next week as the Wayne Pioneers will head to Scott. And I get to spend a little time with my buddy Joe Linville. And always look forward to that. Joe's had some health problems in the off season, but doing well. And I'll get a chance to talk to him this week, and looking forward to that. And seeing my buddy Joe Linville, and but that game will be heard here on the Superstation Network and the Gridiron Sports Network. And I think Fred usually carries Joe's broadcast as well. So look forward to seeing my buddy Joe Linville. And we'll see. Now, the Scott team tonight was scheduled to play tonight, but they instead had to cancel because of all the weather that was going on. So, but join us next week, 6:35 for the pregame, as we'll have that one for you here on the Gridiron Sports Network. I want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight. I also want to thank Rustic Ravines and SuperstationSilver.com for sponsoring our broadcast, being a great community partners for us, and enable us to do the things that we need to do. A couple of websites I'd like for you to visit as we head out tonight. Of course, SuperstationSilver.com, and also go over to HazelsWish.com and check out those websites. HazelsWish.com, again, just looking for volunteers to help celebrate the memory of our Miss Hazel, and a dear lady that if you missed our announcements earlier tonight, passed away back in June, and certainly miss that lady. She was always such a treasure for us. And so HazelsWish.com, help us keep Miss Hazel's legacy alive, serve the community, and help us out there if you possibly can. Well, thank you once again, for all that listen to us here tonight on the internet, on Facebook. Got some nice comments, a couple of texts tonight from some folks that I always love to hear from as high school football season rolls around. Folks here at Wayne certainly make this old Kentucky boy welcome, and I appreciate that a great deal. And it's going to be a fun season traveling along with the Wayne Pioneers throughout the high school football season of 2023. I'd like to thank Fred Dameron for all his hard work back at Studio Control. Yeoman's job, Fred. Appreciate you, my brother. Couldn't do what we do without Fred, that's for sure. And we certainly thank you for listening to us tonight. Once again, from Wayne High School, your final score: the Pioneers 41, the Tolsia Rebels 0. God bless everyone. Watch for deer, and have a great night.
You've been listening to exciting Wayne County High School football action on WFGH Sports. The executive producer of WFGH Sports is Vernon Stanville. The proceeding has been a live presentation of Wayne County Sports Voice, Sports Radio 90.7 WFGH.